Girlfriend lied to my face about texting her male friend and then deleted the conversation. Hi, I have been with my current GF for almost a year now. Our relationship was quite serious. She always told me that I am the one, insisted I meet her parents, insisted that she meets my parents. We traveled together, spent a lot of time together, and I loved her to bits. She was a traditional type and expected man pays for everything when we are together, but this only applied to things like activities we did together. She never asked for gifts or pocket money. She explained this by the fact that she is 27 and doing her PhD in university and her parents pay for everything and buy her nice things, but if a man shows up in her life he should take care of her. I always thought she was a bit spoiled since she didn't work a day in her life, but she kept telling after her PhD she will try to find a job and understand what she wants to do in life. She also was surrounded by more or less spoiled friends, guys and girls, that just liked to spend their parents' money, but I guess I never really thought it was my business who her friends were since she was always available, understanding, caring and romantic, and that was more than enough for me. We were taking about a future together, having kids, etc. She kept telling me after 1.5 to 2 years people understand already if they want to be together for the rest of their lives and want to have a family. She always listened to my opinions closely and very open-minded when I voiced my concerns about her first trying to find herself in life before worrying about a family. She was open to working on it. She told me once that she can forgive everything in a relationship, but infidelity is the only thing she cannot forgive. As a background to the story, previously she had a girlfriend who had a brother that she used to sometimes play tennis with, as part of a group. Many months ago, this guy one day started texting her at night and she was constantly replying back and forth to him in front of me. I asked what she was talking about and she said they were trying to book a tennis game. I said that's fine, but I think it's a bit too late in our relationship. Go and play tennis with other dudes and spend time with them, while I was asking myself to take me to tennis and teach me how to play it. She agreed and said she won't play tennis with him anymore, and she agreed to take me and teach me how to play. I learned very quickly. I never seen her text that guy again. Fast forward to last week, we had a lovely date night together and it was getting quite late, like almost midnight. She gets a call from someone and quickly hides her phone. I ask who it's from, if everything is okay. She said it's from her mom and that she's just worried about her. I get a bit suspicious since her mom never calls her like that. Then her phone starts bursting with texts. She starts intensely replying to them while in the car with me for about 20 minutes. I see it's from some guy, Danny. I have never heard about Danny before in my life. I ask, so who's Danny? And why is he calling and texting you so late on a Friday night? She lies to my face again and says, oh, he just wanted to organize to play tennis with me. I knew that was absolute BS since I knew the group she plays tennis with. We come back home and she's still texting with him. I grab her by the shoulders and I ask her, WTF is going on? Why is she lying to me? She said, I don't know what you are talking about. I do it again and she asks me what I'm on about and goes to the shower. While in shower, I take her phone and unlock it. First time in my life I took her phone without her knowledge. I see she has been talking to this guy for months. There is nothing intimate, but there are a couple of calls back and forth and she calls him dear and sends him a heart emoji once. I got quite dizzy in my head, so I didn't read anything more, but I remember there was a date, September 16th, when they called and talked a lot. On that day, I remember she was away with her parents in a different country and she wrote to me she had a very bad mood and she will go to bed early, which she did, and I already don't remember why. So it feels to me that at the very least she uses that guy to emotionally vent to. Regarding the texts of today, he was asking her to come over to have drinks with him and his friends and said that he will pick her up at 3 a.m. She replied to him that sorry, I'm going to bed already. Like, let's talk later. Anyway, I got extremely furious. I went up to her and told her she is lying to me and that I cannot tolerate shit like this anymore. I told her it's obvious she lied who was calling and what they were talking about. I didn't tell her I seen the texts. She did a small confession that it was her friend indeed, that he's stupid and that he just got drunk and called to come party with him. I asked why didn't she hand me the phone, why wasn't she honest with me, why didn't she tell him or at least explain to me what was going on. I was extremely angry and in confusion and angrily told her this was the last time I will tolerate this. I didn't swear at her, and I just fell asleep and left quickly her house the next day. My pain was intense, and for the whole next day she was basically pretend nothing happened and as if she was waiting for me to calm down about it and forget, as she said, this minor thing. I called her that evening and told her I don't want to see her and I want to break up with her. She started panicking and told me, how can I throw everything away like that? This is just a minor thing, etc. So I told her, show me the texts, show me everything and explain it to me. She told me that that night she deleted everything and blocked him because she was mad at what happened. To cut things short, she came over later, tried to storm in my house and talk about cries, etc. I told her to show me the proof or we're done. She didn't show me anything. Unsuccessful, restored WhatsApp and wiped all her chats by accident, and when I told her I packed her stuff, she finally made an effort to reach out to the guy and ask him for screenshots of the texts. He told her no and she didn't push any further. She sent me screenshots of their convo. It's been a week and I am absolutely destroyed by this. I loved her to bits and would never think she would be sneaky to me about these things. I wasn't even looking at other girls by this point, much rather entertaining the thought of any infidelity to her. Did I do the right thing to break up on the spot, or should I have tried to investigate further and make this work out? Was there potentially a reasonable explanation for all of this? I am a jealous idiot. After sending me the screenshots of her asking for the texts, she told me that I betrayed her by throwing away our relationship so quickly and that she loved me more than anything. She blocked me after those messages. I dropped her stuff off at her doorstep and have been crying almost every day about this. She blocked me everywhere, like everywhere, after I unfollowed her on Instagram, so it didn't hurt me. I didn't block her anywhere. Comment. She flat out lied to your face repeatedly. And somehow you are the betrayer. So your answers are yes, you did the right thing. There is no reasonable explanation for the bullshit she spewed, and you may be a jealous idiot in other things, but you weren't in this instance. Don't tolerate this behavior. She is a cheating, manipulative POS. I know it sucks to have your heart broken, but she isn't worth the pain, my man. Focus on you and building a healthy, happy life. Leave her in the past. Well, the two you should have more of a conversation, and I would have confronted the guy before. I don't mean physically, I mean reach out to him and find out what's going on. But yet I can understand you acting the way you did, and it's bothersome that she's not taking ownership or being more considerate and understanding to the situation. She is so full of it. You betrayed me by not tolerating my lies and shady behavior. That's flat out cynical manipulator crazy talk. You made the right choice by walking away. You don't need to learn to be more trusting. She needs to learn to be more trustworthy. Story 2. My boyfriend turns this week and I want to break up with him. Do I do it or not? Because I could just be hormonal currently. Disclaimer, this post might be all over the place. I'm exhausted and my mind is scrambled. Hi, I'm in my first semester of nursing school and I have a boyfriend 22, 23 and 3 days who only has 3 classes all online this semester. Nursing school is the hardest thing I have done so far, and while I think my boyfriend supports me, I feel like he's making my life harder than it needs to be. I think I have taken on a larger load than I needed to by trying to maintain working at least 10 hours a week at the hospital as a nurse aide, being class president, being board members of 2 nursing clubs, all on top of nursing school, which is already hard on its own. For my nursing school, I'm in class for 4 hours on Monday, don't have class Tuesday, have a 6-hour clinical in the morning until noon on Wednesday, and am in class from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Thursday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Friday. And when I get out of class, I usually spend most of my time studying for exams, since we usually have 1 to 2 each week on Thursdays and Fridays. I'm constantly tired, and on the weekends I usually want to relax or clean my apartment since I don't have time to clean during the week. I usually sleep over at his on Sunday nights, Monday nights, and Tuesday nights since I start class at noon on Monday, and my friend gives me a ride to the hospital Wednesday morning and she lives close to my BF. I try to spend as much time with my boyfriend as much as I can, but it seems as if nothing is enough time for him even when we spend all weekend together and Tuesdays together. I always want to spend the weekend at mine, but he hates my roommates and they barely leave the apartment, so he never wants to stay at my apartment on the weekends, and that leaves me always spending time at his. This weekend, my BF is in the military, reserves, and he had drill this past weekend and was leaving at 4:30 a.m. Saturday morning. I was happy he had drill this weekend so I could go back to my apartment and clean it and do laundry, and I also made plans with my nursing school friends to hang out and drink Saturday night since we've never hung out outside of school other than to study. I had asked my boyfriend if he could drop me off at my apartment, about a mile away from his, when he left for drill, because I would wake up with his alarm anyways and I can never go back to sleep until he reaches the army unit 1.5 hours away safely. He said no because he wanted to let me sleep, which I half understood but didn't fully understand because he knew I would wake up anyways and wouldn't be able to go back to sleep until after 6. So after he got to the unit, I fell asleep and stayed asleep for 3 more hours. I decided to clean up his apartment so it would be a nice surprise for my BF to come home to. I was getting ready to leave and I stupidly locked my keys in his bedroom, and therefore I was locked out of my apartment until my boyfriend got home on Sunday. The front office was closed and I called their emergency maintenance number 8 times and no one picked up. I was upset since I had started my period Friday afternoon and didn't have any extra pads on me, and my plans to actually clean my apartment and do something for me were ruined. I was so excited to spend a weekend on my own since he always watched football all day Sunday, and I just want to relax on the weekends because I'm exhausted from nursing school, but he hates staying in bed or staying at home because it feels like a wasted day to him. 4 people tried picking my boyfriend's lock to see if they could unlock his door and it was a fail. One of my friends stupidly locked my boyfriend's roommate's bedroom door because he was trying to see how the lock worked. Turns out, Ross, the roommate, doesn't have a key to his bedroom door and had to contact emergency maintenance through the resident portal to get his door unlocked. But that happened hours after I had already left my boyfriend's apartment because I'm blessed to have a wonderful best friend who picked me up. I forgot to mention earlier that I don't have a car, and took me to Walmart so I could buy pads and wine, and took me to her apartment since we were going to hang out there anyways, and told me I could sleep over and gave me a change of clothes and a toothbrush and everything. Saturday night was the best night I had in a very long time. We drank at home and made an impromptu decision to go clubbing, and I danced and felt safe with my group of friends. I was actually happy after being disappointed in the morning. Extra information I don't know where to add. Emergency maintenance was able to unlock my boyfriend's door as well, but it wouldn't have helped me since I had already left his apartment and was sleeping at my friend's apartment. Today, I got home from class at 4:30 and I called my boyfriend to ask him when he wanted me to go over to his apartment. He said at 5. I told him I wanted to try to clean my room a little bit since I wasn't able to this weekend. He got mad at me and told me that I had one weekend without him and I chose to go clubbing and drinking with my friends instead of cleaning my room when he knew about me locking my keys in his room. Then he proceeded to tell me that I should have gone back to his apartment when Ross called, at 8 p.m., me to tell me that they got the door open and gone back to my apartment Saturday night when I already had plans to hang out and drink with my friends. 1. Why the would I do that? 2. I literally have no car and I wasn't going to make my friend drive me back to my boyfriend's apartment just to get my keys when my boyfriend was going to be back Sunday around noon anyways. Miscellaneous. I am a person of color, with black hair, on the bigger/curvier side, and my boyfriend is a white, athletic, muscular, and toned guy. I often feel like I don't know why he's dating me. I am aware I am an insecure person and have trouble seeing beauty in myself, and it really doesn't help that he follows a bunch of girls on social media with blonde hair and tan skin and skinny bodies where they can comfortably post in skimpy bikinis. He'll like all the posts and follow accounts that often post like that, and I've asked him not to and he'll give me the excuse I like everything on or it doesn't mean anything and more excuses. We've gotten into multiple fights over it, and at one point he told me to unfollow a bunch of accounts and he won't follow any more accounts. I usually eat healthy, at least when I am by myself, especially since my boyfriend hates cooking and loves eating out. I love cooking and grew up eating in 99.9% of the time and eating healthy. I try to work out, but it's been really hard with my schedule, but I'll try to get at least 30 minutes of exercise in to reach my 10,000 step goal. Today, I found out that he had refollowed some accounts I had unfollowed, and when I asked him about it, he changed his account password. He doesn't treat me bad but also not so good. I just feel like I'm begging for the bare minimum. I want random flowers and I want to feel pretty, and I want someone to understand how tired I am from working my ass off during the week, and that I don't want to spend Saturdays doing shit I don't want to do and then sit at home on Sundays watching football and him telling me that I'm getting what I want because I wanted to relax at home and we're not going anywhere on Sunday. I'm a type A person, so I usually come up with all the date ideas, and that's if he even wants to do them. I told him I wanted to go to a pumpkin patch multiple times in October, but we didn't. We made candles the weekend before Halloween, and I made mine by cutting down an unscented candle and melting it with wax melts for scent and color, and all he did was take an unscented candle and add a wax melt on top. It took him 1 minute to make his candle and it took me over an hour to do mine. I even worked an extra shift to buy all the candle supplies, candle jars, candles, wicks, wax melts, etc. It makes me so frustrating because my schedule is already so busy that it's hard working a 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. shift when I have to be up at 6 a.m. the next morning. I don't have a car, so I have to take the bus to school and work, and I always leave an hour early. When I spend the night at his, I have to take 2 buses to get to class, so that has me leaving even earlier. I picked up so many extra shifts just to be able to afford the expensive gifts I got him for his birthday. He calls me spoiled because I come from an upper middle class family while he grew up lower class. But then he wants the new Spider-Man game and a new cooler because some jackass stole one out of his truck, and he wants an OtterBox just because it's branded, when I found him a phone case on Amazon that will work just as well, if not even better, for $50 less. I even got him a custom football jersey of his favorite team with his favorite number and his last name on the back. That gift alone had me working an extra 12-hour shift to be able to afford it. I don't feel appreciated about how hard I'm working. 2 weeks ago, I had a tough week since I had 2 hard exams in 1 week. I did well on my first exam, but I didn't know how I felt about my second exam. I was anxious waiting for the grade to come out since I thought I failed. 78% is a fail in nursing school, and was so happy when the scores were released and I got a 86%. This was the Friday before my friend's Halloween party, and I had hoped me and my BF would have a good weekend because I did well on my exams, and we had the plan to make candles, and I was making shrimp Alfredo for dinner. We went grocery shopping and to the ABC store to buy alcohol, and the sunset was beautiful when we got out. I immediately ran to the back of his truck so I could stand in the bed and take a picture. I love sunsets. I helped him finish loading the groceries and we left to go home. My dad FaceTimed me and I excitedly showed him the sunset since he couldn't see it at home. We got home and I started making the shrimp Alfredo. When it was almost done, I asked him if he wanted to try a shrimp piece and he said no, and then I asked him if he wanted a taste of the sauce instead. He got so mad at me and started yelling at me because he already said no to trying a piece of shrimp, and then I asked if he wanted to taste the sauce, but it's only because he only seasons his food with salt and pepper and I use way more seasoning. I didn't want the stupid dinner to taste bad to him. And then he went even further to mock me talking to my dad and showing him the sunset. It's little things like this that make me so upset with him. I don't know if I can take it anymore. I'm sorry that this post was so unorganized and long. I don't even know the main point of writing it anymore other than to list out some of the things that happened in the last few weeks. I just want to be happy, and the one time I was happy in the last month was when I was without him. I don't know what to do. I've tried talking to him, but I feel like it never works. He will apologize but do the same shit again. I want to leave him, but it's so hard leaving someone you genuinely love but doesn't treat you right. Please leave me your thoughts without any mean comments. I can accept constructive criticism but not mean criticism.